Allan, you are a writer, director, but not just of words and pictures. You also write and score your own music.
Yeah.
Tell us, how's that different? Because I know a lot of people that are super visually inclined sometimes look for other people to fill in the audio, myself included. I can play a little music, but I sort of find visuals as my stronger suit. Do you feel you're better in one than the other, or are you just a wunderkind?
I think with me it comes all together at once. It will, like, from the conception of the idea of the film, I'll get images in my head and pretty much the music with it. I don't know.
Okay, so you get like an audio and visual um, picture.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of the time when in pre-production, I'm not trying to think of things. It's more I'm writing down what I already see going on in my head, like more of like a sort of journalist standpoint.
Okay, yeah. I was talking with another filmmaker, Christopher Ranjo, and we talked about the importance of taking notes when those ideas strike. So
hmm
yeah, you kind of have to. Um, and is that the same process for music? Do you just hear something? How do you approach that?
Well, I think early in the conception of everything, you get a sense of whether this project is going to be like more cerebral or more visceral, and then from that, that's sort of like the direction and what everything's going to go. Like, like as far as like when I was working on the Have-Nots, that was more of a cerebral type feel to it. So when I approached it with the music, it was sort of like, well, like a lot of the percussion was done on a dumpster, to make more of a like to get in the element. With Run, it's a lot of there's a choir, and they're doing all the elements of Gale, and then there's this crazy synth sound I made that was pretty distorted, and that's the wolf. And I have other like synths as the other people. Like, so it's a little cerebral in that part where like I planned out all these weird little things probably no one else will pick up on, but as far as like the mood of the music, it's definitely like the whole movie's more visceral, where it's just I'm just like turning the dial up on everything. Is like, oh, here comes the wolf, like, and the distortion goes up, or Gail's falling apart in this scene, so I just kind of let it go like that. Um,
Oh, that's
I
that's cool. I just love hearing you talking about that because it sounds like a lot of the discussions I have with my sound guy, um, and we talk about motifs and different sounds for different characters, and we always think, oh, I don't know if anyone's going to pick up on it. Yeah, even if it's not a cerebral picking up on it, it's a visceral picking up on it, like you were saying.
yeah, yeah, exactly, yeah.
And use a variety of different instruments. What are you proficient on something, and do you write all on, say, a keyboard first, and what's your process?
Well, I think as far as musically, I would either say piano and guitar are pretty much the same.
Hmm.
Um, but when I'm writing, well, for Run, when I was writing it, it was definitely piano. There is some guitar in it, but it's not really recognizable as a guitar from a lot of it. Most of the heavy, I would say it's like 80 to 90% just different synths. I write it all on. I use Logic on the Mac.
Okay.
Um, yeah, just they tinker with a lot of sounds. I like to make up my own sounds because I don't know. I probably don't have to, but it just doesn't feel right unless I do.
Yeah, it adds something. I had written something on guitar, and it wasn't like it was a noise. It was just something that
Mm,
was kind of cool and distorted, and I recorded it for my film Cog and Gear, and I sent
mm-hmm.
it over to the guy who was doing my audio, and I'm like, just see if you can incorporate this somehow, and it made for a really cool effect. I'm really
Hmm.
happy with how that turned out. So definitely, um, I'm definitely on board with you there. It's good to create in
Yeah.
all aspects. And my chair slipped. I'm so short now. I am tall. I am tall again. Regular, you know, size me. That's excellent, man. Anything else you want to talk about music wise or contributing to the soundscape? Beyond music? Sound effects? Whatever?
um, and well, I mean, it might be funny to know some of the werewolf sounds are actually me sitting here, which is might be funny to keep in mind when you're watching. Some of the growls, it's I couldn't find anything that I wanted right, so I was messed around with the microphone and some effects for a while. Um, Other than that, I don't think so. On the soundtrack, it's listed as soundtrack by the Green Eyed Puppets, but that's like my band. So
Okay.
yeah,
What kind of stuff do you guys play?
it's always been like industrial kind of stuff, like industrial rock.
Lends itself to music the way things have kind of been going. I've been noticing everything is a little more bassy, a little
Mm.
more, Trent Reznor is doing a lot of pushing, so I think that kind of contributes to it. But I notice a lot of the melody has been moving more towards the bass spectrum.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I don't really listen to any contemporary music. Like I kind of back in like I don't know the late '90s. I kind of hit a roof with music. I don't even I lost track of anything new since then, pretty much.
yeah, it's tough to keep up. um,
Yeah.
any soundtracks to movies or TV shows recently that you've heard that have inspired you, or you thought that's a cool sound?
Well, the Run soundtracks, of course, like a very Carpenter influenced. Um, I think I did like a lot like the soundtrack to like It Follows.
Yeah, that was good.
That yeah, the Watchmen soundtrack I think was it was great.
The
Um,
are we talking about the HBO series or the movie?
yeah, the
Oh
series.
my god, yeah, loved it. So cool.
Yeah, that was good.
A lot of Moog sounds in there, just weird stuff. A lot of
Yeah,
the bass melody that I was talking about, I think I was probably thinking of that.
yeah.
Really cool stuff. I kind of like the way it's going. It's different, but the same,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.